kind of a two-level wrecking ball, if you want to call it that. Trump, his role, whether this is conscious or not, I don't know, but you can see what's happening. Trump's role is to ensure that the media and public attention are always concentrated on him. So every time you turn on a television set, it's Trump. Open the front page of the newspaper, Trump. And in order to maintain, he's a con man, basically, a showman. And in order to maintain public attention, you have to do something crazy. Otherwise, nobody's going to pay attention to you. If you do normal things, you'll be, way back somewhere. So every day there's one insane thing after another. And then, the media, he makes some crazy lie. You have the biggest crowd in history or something. The media looks at him and says, no, it wasn't the biggest crowd. But meanwhile, he's on to something else, and then you go to that one. And while this show is going on in public, in the background, the wrecking crew is working. Paul Ryan, Mitch McConnell, the guys in the cabinet who write his executive orders. What they're doing is systematically dismantling every aspect of government that works for the benefit of the population. This goes from workers' rights to pollution of the environment, the rules for protecting consumers. I mean, anything you can think of is being dismantled. And all efforts are being devoted, kind of almost with fanaticism, to enrich and empower their actual constituency, which is super wealth and corporate power, who are delighted. That's why the stock market goes up. Stock market has not much to do with the economy, but keeps booming because that's the rich people, and they love being granted. Now, the worst policies that he's carrying out, the most dangerous, are barely discussed. Now, those are the two existential threats that we face. You have to face the fact that humans are now in a situation which has never arisen in human history. This generation has to decide whether organized human existence is going to continue. And it's not a joke. It's global warming and nuclear war. Those are the major issues. They ought to be big headlines every day. And Trump's actions are making both of them much more dangerous. In the case of nuclear war, the policies are significantly increasing the threat of nuclear war. In the case of global warming, it's almost indescribable. Not only has the U.S. pulled out uniquely, alone in the world, it's pulled out from the international efforts to do at least something about it. But beyond that, the Trump administration is going out of its way to increase the threat. Rex Tillerson was CEO of ExxonMobil since the 1970s. Scientists at ExxonMobil have been, we now know they've been made public, forced to be made public. They've been producing severe warnings to the leadership about the effect of the use of petroleum on destroying the environment. So they all know about it, but they're not doing anything about it, which is a level of criminality that is almost hard to find words to describe. I mean, here are, educated, well-off, rich people, upper elite, who know that what they're doing is destroying the prospects for organized human life, and do it anyway because they make more profit tomorrow. Can you think of an analog to that in human history? I really can't. I mean, I've said sometimes what's considered an utterly outrageous comment that today's Republican Party is the most dangerous organization in human history. Sounds outrageous, but think about it for a moment. I mean, Hitler didn't intend to destroy the prospects for human existence. Attila the Hun didn't intend that. Nobody has. But that's what these guys intend. And it's not ignorant, uneducated, religious fundamentalists, whatever you want to blame people. These are the most educated, best supported people in the world. And they're doing this eyes open because you can make more profit tomorrow. It's hard to imagine anything like it. And it's not just my opinion. You take, say, the Bulletin of the Atomic Science, the Doomsday Clock, famous Doomsday Clock. It's set up by the Bulletin of Atomic Scientists since 1947. Each year they gather distinguished physicists, political analysts, others to look at the state of the world and make a judgment of how far we are from terminal disaster. Midnight is terminal disaster. In 1947, the clock was set 7 minutes to midnight. It's after the atom bomb. Moved up and back since. Now it's at the closest it's been to midnight ever. They just moved it to 2 minutes to midnight. That's where it was in 1953, when the U.S. and later the USSR exploded thermonuclear weapons, which could totally destroyed the world. So it went to 2 minutes. Now it's back to 2 minutes. And that's the Republican Party. That's the ones who are running the country and dominating the world. There's never been a situation like this.